guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer video where we will talk about Declan Rice, because many newspapers are claiming that Liverpool are already laying the groundworks on a potential Declan Rice transfer either in the January transfer window or in the summer. So we will have all the details about that. But happy FIFA World Cup Day! Today the FIFA 2022 World Cup starts, and as you can see, I'm already hyped about the World Cup. I will be supporting Spain and England and also Brazil. I want some Liverpool players to lift the World Cup trophy this year. If you want to join my FIFA World Cup Fantasy League, you can by clicking the link in the video's description, or you can join the league in the code will be on the screen, as you can see. So I'm really excited because each match day you can select 11 players who pick up points depending on how they do in the games, and it's a great competition and it's free to play. And according to various English newspapers, Liverpool are pushing hard to sign Declan Rice at the end of the season, and Liverpool will have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita and James Milner. Probably all three of them will not get a contract extension, so Liverpool will have all these three players leaving at the end of the season. So Liverpool need to sign at least 3 midfielders in the next 2 transfer windows, and I think we can sign both Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice because we spent so little money in the past few transfer windows. I think Liverpool still have a lot of money to spend, and hopefully if the takeover goes through by the time the summer transfer window comes, Liverpool will have a lot more money to spend on transfers, and I think Declan Rice would be a brilliant signing. He's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League in recent seasons, and he's only 23 years old, and he has a lot of potential, and I will watch him in the World Cup. He will be England's starting defensive midfielder, and I think he can play in the 4-4-2 formation that Liverpool have been deploying many times this season, alongside Fabinho or alongside Henderson as the 2 holding midfielders. But Henderson is also 31-32 years old, so we need to sign these young players and develop them. So by the time Henderson leaves Liverpool, we will be having Declan Rice fully integrated into the Liverpool team. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest updates on Liverpool FC. And it's well documented that Liverpool had a lot of midfield problems, and also Milner, Thiago, Henderson are all above 30 years old, and Fabinho is like 28. And Liverpool have a few midfielders who are in their supposedly prime years, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, but they are all so injury prone. We can never rely on them. So Liverpool have a huge midfield issue to solve, and we need to sign players like Declan Rice, who is 23, 24 years old very soon. And I think he would be a huge signing for Liverpool. And it will be one of the building blocks of this regeneration of the midfield, and also the reshaping of the Liverpool squad. Liverpool are in a rebuilding phase, but we can sign players like Declan Rice who can come in straight away and start for Liverpool, and I think he has a soft spot for Liverpool. He's talked about Liverpool many times and his admiration about Liverpool fans and the atmosphere at Anfield. And I think any potential owner who takes over Liverpool, I think the potential like regeneration of the squad and signing 2 or 3 players for around 200 to 300 million pounds would be in the sale price of like 4 billion pounds at this point. And I think Liverpool need midfielders badly. And imagine FSG announces a big signing in the January transfer window, and then later on during 2023 they sell the club, and they will leave on a high, and they will leave with a lot of Liverpool fans probably, admiring what they have done, because in the past 12 years they have really rebuilt Liverpool. We just need a little bit more investment, that's all I ask. And Liverpool as a club need to be very clear on how to proceed in the transfer market. Julian Ward needs to make sure they are running point on any incoming players, so we don't need another like Chelsea-like approach where the new owner Ted Bowley came in at Chelsea, and they were just lining all kinds of players left, right and center. They spent £280 million on the squad, And yet Chelsea actually look worse than last season, which is incredible when you spend that much money. But if you don't sign the right kind of players, and if the squad doesn't gel enough, then you will have big problems. And Liverpool need to do it differently. Every key decision must revolve around Jurgen Klopp and his vision for the club, and also our recruitment department needs to be identifying the perfect and viable candidates. And we already have, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham as transfer targets. Why not sign them both for a combined 150, 200 million pounds, something like that? A new takeover will supply enough money to Liverpool to make these signings happen, and we must continue to identify the right kind of players. And these are both young players with a lot of potential, and they could play for Liverpool for the next 8 years without a problem. And at the moment, of course, Declan Rice is happy to play for West Ham, but I think he's a better player than to just play for a club who sometimes qualifies for the Europa League. And yes, they went to the Europa League semi-finals last season, which was a brilliant achievement for West Ham. But Declan Rice, I think he wants to play in the Champions League. He wants to play at the highest level because he is already playing at the FIFA World Cup with England. And I think Declan Rice, when he sees other England players playing for really big clubs in English football, he would want to have a move to one of the top 6 clubs. I think that's clear. So if Liverpool come knocking on the door, I think Declan Rice would ask West Ham to seriously listen to Liverpool's offer, because why wouldn't he want to play under Jurgen Klopp? Why wouldn't he want to play in front of the famous Cup? And why wouldn't he want to play in the Champions League and challenge for trophies and titles? He turns 24 years old, Declan Rice, on the 14th of January. So he is about to enter the prime years of his career, and after leaving the Chelsea Youth Academy in 2016, he clearly found the best path for him within West Ham, and also he began to find his true footballing path. He already played 34 times for the England national team, and he has become a very good holding midfielder. And also he progressed into a box-to-box type of midfielder as well. And he added goals and assists to his name recently. And what is also very important is he's not injury prone. He already played 20 times in all competitions. West Ham are in the Conference League right now. He has 1 goal and 2 assists, which is not a lot. But, at Liverpool he wouldn't be required to score goals or get assists. He would be required to maybe sometimes play ahead of Fabinho, sometimes alongside Fabinho. But last season he had a brilliant campaign. He played 50 games for West Ham, and also he scored 5 goals and got 4 assists, and those 3 of those goals came in the Europa League, which is really impressive. 5 goals and 4 assists from a holding midfielder is pretty darn good. And I've seen many interviews with Declan Rice. He always came across to me as a down-to-earth guy who has a brilliant charisma, and also he's very confident and very hardworking, a true professional. And if I see his numbers, since he broke through to the West Ham first team, he always played at least 31 games in a season, but on average he played around 40 games every single season. And in the Premier League he never missed more than I think 6 games since he truly became a regular player for West Ham. So he played 34 games, 38 games, 32 games, 36 games. These are all Premier League games only. So the most Premier League games he missed in a season was 6. Compare that to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita. It's night and day, absolutely. So I think I'm really in favor of Liverpool signing Declan Rice for sure. He already played 215 times for West Ham since 2017, which is a lot for a player who is 23 years old. He's of course not a goal-scoring midfielder. He's also not a Thiago type of player. He is a strong, dynamic player that could potentially complement certain players around him. We need these kind of destroyer type of players. And as you can see, maybe Fabinho is on the decline, But what I think Fabinho's main issue is, he has been really overplayed. Jordan Henderson doesn't want to be a backup for Fabinho. He asked Jurgen Klopp to be playing alongside him, and I have no problem with that, but we don't have a backup for Fabinho, a proper backup who basically can come in and Fabinho can get full rested, and that player, in this case Declan Rice would be that player. He could be as good or almost as good as Fabinho in his prime, and Fabinho would be a completely different player if he gets sometimes good rests. We expect Fabinho to play every 3 days, almost the full game, and he just got exhausted playing this high energy Liverpool football for the past like 4 years. And as that box-to-box engine, Declan Rice could offer intelligent positioning and also protection of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Maybe alongside Fabinho he could play in that right-sided midfield role, or he could add strength and off-the-ball defensive awareness we often lack when Harvey Elliott or Jordan Henderson plays. It's incredible because Jordan Henderson is a brilliant defender, defensive midfielder, but he plays alongside Fabinho. He has this attacking mindset. He always tries to bump forward. Sometimes he ends up as our furthest player in the box, and then we lose the ball, and there is just huge gaps in our midfield because Jordan Henderson bumps forward, and that's what would be better. Declan Rice would be, I think, a much better player that Jordan Henderson is right now, because I think Henderson's powers are dwindling, fading. He's on the decline, and Declan Rice is on the up. We still haven't replaced Gini Wijnaldum, and I want Declan Rice to be a Gini Wijnaldum type of player who can do a bit of everything. He can defend, he can tackle, he can run, he can maybe sometimes get assists, score goals if the opportunities present themselves. But most importantly, he would be a very reliable player in Liverpool's midfield who hardly ever gets injured and who can, complement other players in the Liverpool team. And of course, he's English, so that's always a bonus. Declan Rice prefers to play in a double pivot, and I think Liverpool would have a system where Declan Rice would thrive in that position as well. So he wouldn't really need to change his type of game, the way he plays, coming to Liverpool, because we could play him alongside Fabinho. Imagine how good our defense and our defensive solidity would be if we would have Fabinho and Declan Rice sitting in front of our back four, and then the other attacking players, the 4 attacking players like Darwin Núñez, Salah, Luis Diaz and Bobby Firmino or Diogo Jota, they can just wreak havoc on the opposition, and that would be absolutely brilliant. And also, if Fabinho and Declan Rice are both sitting, then Trent and Robertson can bump forward, because they would know that we have basically 2 defensive midfielders plus 2 centre-backs protecting our goal. So I think that would be a brilliant strategy going forward for Liverpool, but I will leave that to Jurgen Klopp. He will work out all the details of that if we end up signing Declan Rice. Of course, the big stumbling block would be Declan Rice's price. And for that reason, maybe if Liverpool want to be really smart in the transfer market, and I think we want to be, and we want to maximize our, potential, Moises Caicedo from Brighton, he would probably cost half as much as Declan Rice. He's 21 years old, and you could maybe argue he has even bigger potential than Declan Rice. That's very difficult to say who will be the better player in their prime in the future, Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo. But Moises Caicedo would be a very shrewd signing. He already has shown a lot of talent, and I will be watching the Ecuador-Qatar game today to actually see Moises Caicedo on the big stage at the World Cup, because at Brighton he hasn't played Champions League or Europa League football yet, but they might do next season. But I would love to see Liverpool go in for Moises Caicedo next summer, potentially. I don't think Brighton would let him go in the January transfer window. And Declan Rice was asked during an interview which game he wished he would have been in the crowd for, and his answer was Istanbul. Straight away, I know it. My dad was already there, but I would have loved to have gone and watched that game. Champions League final, imagine being a fan in that situation, incredible. I would definitely have gone to that. That one would have been unbelievable. So I think Declan Rice has a big admiration for Liverpool Football Club. They are a huge club in England. Declan Rice already played many times against Liverpool, so he knows exactly how we play, what kind of atmosphere there is at Anfield. And I think the dream scenario for Liverpool fans is that Liverpool, at the end of the summer transfer window, we will have Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham at the club, or Jude Bellingham and Moises Caicedo. I think that would be, either of those scenarios would be brilliant, because then we would have, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, and other midfielders to choose from. But Liverpool still need to get this takeover done, because then a huge amount of money will be coming in for to be made available for transfers, and I'm really looking forward to the World Cup. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this World Cup as well, and you guys will enjoy my videos. The new FIFA 23 World Cup video is coming very soon. I'm already editing it. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.